Well, I can make this a quick show when I get off mute, right? All right, so making this a quick show because wanted to talk about something, right? Besides today is like a class day for writing and stuff, but I got time. Uh, as I was prepping for, well, actually yesterday I was listening to something, and it was something else I was supposed to listen to, but I didn't get to. And I was listening to something, and in between listening to something, I found this class, and it was for a very reasonable price. So I was like, okay. And for the time slot too, I was like, okay, this is a good reason. This is a good deal. Let me go ahead and check this out, right? And so um I was proud of myself because number one, I got out of my mentality that I had before, you know. But I learned how to look at things in a much more observing way, or learn how to analyze things in a better way. Right? So if I want to join this, or I want to be a part of this, or I want to see what this person is about, I know how to judge it. You know, I know what to look for. I know what kind of standards to set for who I listen to and who I put my time or who I invest into, as I was talking about before, right? And all of this happened while I was listening to the things that I was recently listening to, right? And what was interesting to me about that experience was like I had looked and I was like, damn, at first I was like, wait a minute, did I miss it? And I was like, no, I didn't. I felt it. I was like, no, I didn't miss it. And I looked at the day and I was like, oh, it's today. So it was like at the top of the morning, 2, 3 in the morning when I saw it. And I was like, oh, all right, you know what I'm saying? I can do this, I can make this, I can, you know what I'm saying? I can make this happen, right? And so what began to happen while I was listening to these people, their topics were very repetitive, right? And we know, and my topics become repetitive. But then it made me think about how I started the hold on. Right? Then I thought about how I started um, you know, uh the whole Black Woman's Guide, right? Remember? And how I did a lot for the Black Woman's Guide. I actually ended up the book I had that I started everything with, I looked at it and I was like, okay, I didn't open the book, but I looked at the notebook and I was like, oh yeah, I can't write this stuff in this because I was looking at a book to use. I was like, nah, I can't use this notebook. This book has to be separated from all the media and the radio show stuff that I was doing. And and then that's when I came across the show and I was listening to it, right? And I was like, yo, we all are called to talk about a certain topic. Don't know, we just that's the thing about doing this stuff. Like you end up just talking about a certain topic. And I remember I started talking about that shit at the top of the year. It just was like the Black Woman's Guide and then the dark psychology and this, that, and the third. And I see other people talking about it, and I'm like, oh shit, this is truly a message for Black women to hear. This is truly a message for Black women to pay attention to. But what I noticed is it's more for the ones who are already aware of it. It's more for the ones who scroll around online and they come across something like that and they listen to that and they go, oh shit, yeah, I already felt that, I already knew, because that's why their energy and their spirit already just attracts that shit. Okay? And so as I was listening, there's some people that got some receipts. And all these receipts are horrible. And then there was, I don't know if I ever talked about it here, but I'll talk about it here. I don't think it's hard to understand why the Black woman chooses to be with the Black male, right? But also understand that it also comes into the fact that, you know, what do I always tell y'all? People are what? Guilty by their association. And who you see people around, despite what you think that they are, who they are around is telling you exactly who they are. So you have to face the facts of whoever this person is around is who this person is, and never make it be nothing else. Okay? Please understand. If you meet somebody and you don't like them, at the end, you're not going to like them either. How it starts is how it ends is a very true statement beyond what people can understand. If you can be honest with yourself. Hold on. I know y'all heard that beat. Let me see what she said. Let me see. Hold on. I had no clue North Carolina and Tennessee had two different time zones. Tennessee is like right next door to North Carolina. Okay, she responded. I had a feeling. I was like, I don't get that this is the unprofessional person. I don't get this woman is unprofessional. I just did not get that from her. Okay. 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 I got my ticket. So when you come in, I think they say you have to show your ticket. So getting back to the topic. So you have these people. So that's the first thing we need to understand, guilty by association, right? And so when you see these Black women with these said type of men, I'm going to tell you what I do see. Okay? I'm going to tell you what I do see. I'm not going to cause separatism in my analysis. I'm not going to do it. But I will say this. I noticed that city people, that's anywhere in the region, city people and inner city people have more of a compass of attracting someone that they really want to be with. even if they are, that person benefits them, they utilize them for something, it's not a very extreme using to the capacity that I see people outside of that. People outside of living that inner city or that city living, they don't have the same way of knowing how to choose partnership in or friendships. That's why when you go to the cities, inner cities, you have more people who are closely related, like friendships. They probably friends with their own family members, number one. Friendships with friends that they've built friendships with. Relationships that are their friendships, if anything. They have we have more of an understanding of how to do that. People outside of that, they don't really have it. Even though they're the closest to each other, they don't have it. Even though they're always in each other's face, they still don't have it. And so this is a part of why these situations happen. Also, there's a more spiritual understanding and laws of attraction with people in these inner cities, right? So we can have a compass of saying, I'm depressed. And when I'm depressed, this is the type of shit that has happened in my life when I'm depressed. When I'm depressed, these are the type of people that I attract when I'm depressed. We have that kind of compass, just opposed to people from outside of that. They don't have it. When you pay attention to these people who have all of this shit happening to them, number one, pay attention to their accent and location. Do your own Google research about what location these people are in with this type of behavior in these situations. And we can't deny that the mammy does destroy her black son. Okay? There is absolutely no denying that. So many black women who have been in relationships with black males or anything black adjacent. Okay? I'm going to tell you right now, the same shit you hear with black women, with black males, anybody of another race dating Italian men go through the same shit. Okay? There's a reason for why black people love Italians the way they do so much. You can do the history into that, right? And a lot of times the problem is the goddamn mama. The mama has no boundaries. And then some of us have gotten the answer we kind of already didn't want to believe, and we know that, trigger warning, there's been some boundaries really crossed between mother and son, right? And that's a dark topic that I will have to take to a Patreon, because I can see how and why that happens and what that's about. And that's her way of extreme controlling of her son, you know, because she doesn't have it. This is why boys belong with their fathers. That's why I stand on that. Boys belong with their fathers, especially black boys. Okay? Here's another thing about these topics that everyone is having as well. We get into just black women strictly who date black males. Understand, she has seen this control that the black woman has over the black male, right? She knows the black male she could do it to, and she knows the ones that she can't do it to. And so therefore she knows who to choose. This goes back to the inner city woman. See, the inner city woman knows what level of what thing that she wants. It's the same concept, believe it or not. Excuse me, one second. It's the same concept with lesbian women or whatever, spectrum, who date masculine women. It's the same shit. And also, I think some things are very simple common sense, and that is, I not I as in myself, but I'm speaking in general. I'd rather fight, argue, or get abused by who and what I know, by who and what I don't know, by a culture that I do not know. Because that kind of abuse can be a different kind of abuse than when it comes from my own. That's one thing about immigrants. Immigrants is about being with their own. I don't give a damn who I'm with. They all have a West Indian background. I have never been with a full American in my life. I can't even count the person I'm with now as a full American. She still is. She still have an Indian in the Indian bloodline. Never in my life been with a full American ever. I don't know what it's like to be with a full American. I don't like Americans, and I don't like Black Americans. You see what I'm saying? So it's always been that way for me. I just do not like them. I don't resonate with them. I do not connect with them. They're not my friends. I don't resonate with Black Americans ever. Okay? And I want to add that there are Black women who need to stay with dating Black males. And they need to stay together for whatever karma, whatever it is that they have together. Black people can't quit each other. Okay? Whether you want to face that reality, Black people can't quit each other. I see it. You see these women who are African, right? Right? And African women go through this too. You see these women who are African, right? An African woman has, I tell y'all all the time, the African woman has more of a chance to be with a male of other European outside, true European Caucasoid white motherfuckers, right? She can do that. She has the luxury of doing that, especially she speaks multiple language, she's educated, you know what I'm saying? She has all of these different aspects of her that she's able to be able to have access to that part of the world and part of the luxury and part of the wealth, right? So with that, I feel like it comes down to the Black woman whose eyes are already open, whose eyes have been open, and now she has awakened to who she is and being her true self. Do you get what I'm saying? So it really comes down to that, right? Quiet is kept. The young Black girls now, this generation coming up, Gen Z and up, the alphas is next, right? That are waking up and saying, man, Black males are not worth none of this shit, right? They haven't been. My grandpa and shit, great grand. I don't give a fuck if he owned land and shit. That motherfucker wasn't shit. My grandma and them was still being molested by uncles and all this kind of shit. Fuck these niggas. Fuck them all, right? And those of us that are really wise, we just be like, this fuck men ain't shit all together, right? We just we don't want nothing to do with males, period. Another topic. And it's all of these different dynamics of the thing. The problem with the divestors is they're really not listening to Black women as they believe that they are, because they have so much hate for the mammy. But there is a lot of mammies that are not stupid. There's a lot of mammies that are very clever. There's a lot of mammies who are very self-aware, but they also accept the reality that their faith fare well better with somebody black. When I listen to people who date outside their race, right? There's a level to this shit. But most of the time when I listen to it, what I hear is whatever the dynamic is, oh, it's more peaceful to be with a white woman, right? You know, they lift you up and this and that, and they do all these things to you. This, that's what it is to be with a white woman, right? And I'm just like, well, black women definitely will do that for you, but okay. And then there's these, you know, I have to consider what kind of woman I am too. I have to consider me, you know. And then I listen to other things, but I also notice the traits that come with dating people or being with people who have dated strictly Caucasians, right? And it does, you know, it does depend on the white. It's like something about dating Caucasians or dating white, right? The thing is, they're very coddled, they're very sensitive, and they have major control issues. And this is what you see with the divestors that are with people of this race. Major control issues. Mindset of things are supposed to be like this, and you're supposed to do things like that, and all of these different stuff. And because of that, this is where the disconnect is. I know how to walk out here and tell the difference of a gutter snipe, of a hood rat, and just a simple black bitch, right? I can tell the difference. I can tell a hood bougie bitch. I can tell the difference of anything of that sector, and I could tell the very intelligent, intellectual black woman, and I can go on and on. But what you got to understand is that gutter snipe hood bitch, she knows what the fuck she is. She knows what kind of nigga she fucks out here. She knows what she attracts. She knows, believe it or not, she is very aware of herself more than you know. But then you have those that are severely mentally motherfucking ill. And they're dealing with it because they don't want the meds. They don't want the meds. I took my meds, my antis, for 3 years. Okay? 3 years. And one thing I hated, I was always sleeping. Just so tired, just sleeping. Like, why the fuck am I sleeping so much? Just sleeping all the time. But I did feel calm and my brain didn't think. It was like my brain was quiet and I slept. And then even when I even started really complaining a little bit, like, yo, like expressing concern. I started expressing concerns. And I was just like, man, it said, well, then take half a pill. And I did that and it was okay. But let me tell you, it's still kind of just, and I hated that I was a little bit oversensitive. I hated that shit. I did not like feeling all of that like that. I didn't like, I hated that oversensitivity. So eventually I took myself off. I told y'all this story before. So it's supposed to be a good 2 years I've been off these meds, right? So what did I start doing? I started fulfilling my space with reading again. It started there, just reading again, just audiobooks, coming up here and setting up shows and writing things down and writing in my notebook. That's all where it started at the top of the year. That's all where it started. Reading and writing again. And as time went on, I started to feel more like myself again. As time went on, I started to measure out everything that I wanted to do and finally put it down to one thing that I'm doing right now. And then as I began to do the thing I love to do, I'm like, oh, okay, this works for me more. Even was planning to go back to school and everything, still can go back. We're planning for that and all that. And then I just start focusing on my child in college and stuff, right? So, what am I getting at here? There are some of us, our life has been very circumstantial from birth. Our life has been very bullied. Our life has been very pressured into society's ideologies, right? And eventually we break from them, and eventually we wake up, and there's other things, as the SW and all this stuff. It's like all this stuff plays a major part, right? The thing is, these people, some of them are very young too, people from the inner city have a different way of life in an inner compass than people outside of that, is what I'm really, really getting down to. And so people who are outside of that, I can see from the way they communicate. These divestors don't even like you when you have a different accent. That tells you a lot. You can feel it on the panel. They don't like a woman who's African, Caribbean, any other accent, London, don't have a strong northern accent or a West Coast accent. They don't like it. And they only want to be around other Southern women. So that tells you a lot right there. And then these people are consulting and wanting to tell you that, how do I say this shit? What's this and what's that? Tell you you're mentally ill because you're gay and all this kind of shit. Don't want to talk about the psychology. An inner city northern person is going to dig deep. We're going to be very serious. We're going to look into things as it is. We're going to see things for as it is. We're going to see things in our life for as it is. We're more likely and more prone to go to therapy, get on the meds for whatever time we're going to do it, to get the help we need to get our ass back up to do the things that we need to do. And I'm just too in tune spiritually. So to be so in tune spiritually and be on those meds and be like, okay, then after a while, it's like, I just can't do this no more. Do I think about getting back on them? Yeah, but to take them like once a week, nothing too crazy, twice a month. And then on top of that, I would rather go somewhere like Better Health or something where I can actually have more control of who I talk to. So maybe I can go and talk to somebody that's more from up north somewhere, because that is so much more comfortable for me, right? Now, yes, Black women, there's a major wake-up call for you. Yes, Black woman, the Black male is throwing you under the bus because he knew and he knows that since Trump is his president, he know it was open season on his ass. He knew that. Yes, Black woman, you need to understand that the Black male does not motherfucking like you. I don't give a fuck the ones who say they love you. They're stuck with you. They don't like you. And women who have this awareness. Shit, males don't like you, honestly. Technically, they say a lot of American men don't like women, period. Well, you have all of these things that plays a major part. I listened to a cult worker the other day talk about how this Jewish man used to buy her bagel and do all this stuff, and she's like, I wish I kept that going, and this, that, and the third, right? And she also expressed that she dates older men and stuff like that. And I just listen. And I always just shake my head and I be like, these black women be missing, they be missing it. You know what I'm saying? Like I know a black woman that's sugar babies, and they'll still say, well, I prefer a black male. Even though that man of the other race is doing everything for their ass, taking care of them, it's not hard, it's breezy. They will drag them out that project because they ain't having that project life shit. They will still be with a black male. And at that time, I was all radical and shit and extra. But I realized in that moment, I had to realize now at this time that there are black women that can be with black males. And so therefore let them. You know what I'm saying? And I understand it. That's the point I'm trying to get y'all to see. I understand it because I'd rather be hurt by what I know than what I don't know. I'd rather be abused by what I know than what I don't know. Let me tell y'all something. I know a lot of people who have dated Asians, right? And a lot of the people who I have heard date Asians, whatever their race may be, it's not really easy for them to date Asians. Even if they would drop in love with them, they love the relationship, they loved who they are, there's always these little intricate things that people experience with Asians. And the number one thing is they don't say how they feel, they drink it away. They drink it away. And my intuitions felt like this when I heard that. Even though the Asian is dating outside of their race, they're still holding on to their culture. And therefore, they're still not going to express anything to make their culture look bad, so they rather just drink it away. You think of any of these black women for being abused by these white males. Do you think these black women would actually tell? And you notice that the ones who do tell, look how shunned she gets. Look how the victim gets victimized by everybody else for saying something. Isn't that some dark shit? I think that's some very dark shit. But here's another aspect. You are the universe. And so therefore, those unhealed parts of you are going to constantly reflect no matter what you're with. You can have that unhealed part of you reflect in your pet. I'm so serious when I say this. You can have the unhealed parts of you constantly reflect throughout your day-to-day life. And when you decide to date somebody, that mirror really is going to hold up to your face. Whether you're poly or not, it's still going to hold up to your face. You can't escape that mirror. All right? So then there's those aspects of the black woman. Do not think that when women say to you, I have dated all males of all races, that she's just talking. She may really have done that. I'm from the city. I've seen it. I've seen all kind of interracial relationships that y'all probably won't even believe exist. Okay, but they exist. And being raised mostly around, like I said, immigrants, my life, most black immigrants, I can confirm that to you. And I've also seen women who dated outside their race with multiple people. And I see that they may go for a mixed light-skinned black male, a mixed light-skinned black woman. You get what I'm saying? So there's something there of what there are many aspects and personalities that people have. You understand? You know, some people can't handle people that's too fragile. Some people can't handle people who they feel like they got to walk on eggshells with them. Some people can't handle people who they kind of always got to comfort their ego and shit like that. Some people can't deal with all that. They rather have a very direct relationship, a very honest relationship. Fuck you and If it's fuck me, fuck you too. I can't stand your ass. Leave me alone. There's people that actually want relationships like that. They want that honesty. They don't want to keep guessing. And then you have people who have many different aspects to why they stay in the relationships that they stay in. They're together for a reason. You're not with that person for no reason. You're there with that person for a reason. And then there's the aspect of here's the thing. As a Black woman who has Black West Indian mixed family children, right? And children who were raised in, of course, the hood, and then their older years, they end up being raised in predominantly non-Black environments, the suburbs, basically. There's a lot of success that is happening for them. And this is a choice I made as a mother for them, right? And I accept the reality that whatever grandchildren I may have, they may not be Black, dark skinned, or brown at all. I also see as a mother that my sons who are brown skinned are more than likely going to date lighter skinned women or date women who are non-Black. And I'd rather them do that. I'd rather them be with what makes them fucking happy. Because this stuff is across the board. Because you have what I see is I find an interesting dynamic in my family. The stepfather's children, right? My mother had with him. All of his sons are not with Black women. Okay? One of them, the father's Black, and the other one, the what's the name? The mother or father's not Black. Okay? This is his sons. And my littlest brother, he ain't little, but his last girlfriend was very, very pretty. She looked close to our mother. And you could clearly tell that this girl was a Black girl, but she wasn't a Black girl. Do you get what I'm saying? Because that's showing you that this short, dark skin, no, I never expressed that, but my mom is light skinned. Hold on, text message. Let me know last night knowing I won't consult you, please. Crazy. Letting me have attitude. Right? Knowing I won't consult you, please. Huh? Letting me know. Let me have attitude last night knowing I won't consult you today. Crazy. Huh? I don't know what's going on. I don't know what that's about. What? Attitude last night knowing I wasn't going to talk to you is crazy. I don't understand. Oh, saying that she wasn't going to be able to talk to me today. Oh shit, I got to get ready to go. I give myself 2 minutes. I got to get ready to get to my class. I like to do 5. I'm going to do 5 minutes early. All right, let me make this. So I lost my thought, but let me get back. Yes, I had a conversation with Crystal Squirrels years ago, and she said, I think Black women gonna be at 30%. She said, no. It's gonna be bigger than that. She said, no, girl, it's gonna be bigger. It's gonna be bigger than, it's gonna be like 80. It's gonna be bigger than that of Black women who ain't dating Black men, right? She told me this shit like 5 years ago, y'all. It's crazy. And I'm seeing the truth. And see, they drag Crystal Swirls, me, this and that, her life. They did her dirty. She done, like, oh man, they did her so dirty. But she's aware. She ain't stupid. She's a woman from up north. She not stupid, and she's a West Indian mixed woman. She really not stupid. She's aware. And this same woman, right, said that, and it's happening, but it's quiet as kept. You're going to hear the percentage of Black women not dating Black males, and see what's going to happen is Black women. This is how powerful Black women are. You're going to start seeing the other percentage of other women who don't date them either. And then this number is going to be big. Okay? This number is going to be big. I'm talking, it's going to shock people because they're going to be like, when did this happen? And I told y'all, when you see who is dating Black males, it ain't going to be pretty. You're going to see how mentally ill they are. You're going to see how their self-esteem is low. You're going to see what their life be like. And here's the darker side of it. Here's the darker side of it. Even on the side with Black women who are with lesbian women, you're going to find that she doesn't want nothing to do even with the stud Black woman. Yeah, it's going to go that deep. That's why you find a lot of studs with men now. Because it's getting that deep where lesbian women are like, I don't want to be with a nigga with a pussy. And so you're going to see that nigga with a pussy called the stud. You're going to see who she's dating. And you're going to see that this is actually what's happening already. This is why everything's so close-knit. We just looking at these relationships like, what the fuck is going on out here? Because that is already what's happening. So that's why when the number come out of how many Black women are dating white males, because this Trump presidency is symbolism of that, believe it or not. Trump recently said he was thankful for the African American women. He made it clear, the African American women who support him, he was thankful for that and support what he do for our country. He said that. That is a hint telling y'all what's to come. All right, y'all, I'm about to go take my class. All right, when I finish, I'll probably come back and tell you all about it. I'm out of here. Let me, is StreamYard gonna let me go? How much time have I used already? I know I ain't used 20 hours.